We know you're a good person, but it's important to understand that not everyone is like you. Our hearts want to believe there's a solution for the world. We have hope in people. But if we're not careful, we can get hurt. Unfortunately, there are many malicious people, and occasionally they will cross our paths. Pay attention to the signs and stay away from such people. You've probably met someone who is genuinely cruel, who hurts others' feelings without remorse and takes advantage of others' weaknesses. Sometimes these behaviors are so subtle that we don't even realize we're dealing with a bad person. Let's talk about the signs indicating you're dealing with someone like that. Some people will always try to make you feel guilty about a situation or pretend to like you in your presence but speak badly about you behind your back. It's important to be prepared because sometimes outsiders will try to disturb your peace, but other times it will be people from your own family. Family is a blessing from God, of that we have no doubt. But unfortunately, some people tend strongly towards a bad version of themselves. In today's video, we will show you 10 signs that you're dealing with a bad person and what you should do when these people cross your path. Before the first sign, make sure you've hit the like button if you're someone who loves learning about life wisdom, and leave your comment, "Yeah, I'm ready for that." Now, let's get started. Let's go with the first sign, number 1, pleasure in others' pain. An evil people feels pleasure when seeing others suffer. If you know someone who seems to rejoice in others' pain, like laughing or smiling when seeing someone going through a difficult time, that's a clear sign you're dealing with a bad person. This behavior shows a total lack of empathy and can lead to harmful situations created for their own pleasure. Imagine a coworker who, instead of offering help when you're overwhelmed, laughs at your difficulties, or a friend who, upon hearing about your personal problem, makes jokes instead of offering support. These attitudes are not only insensitive, but reveal a cruel character. Such people may even deliberately provoke bad situations for others, just to have the pleasure of seeing someone suffer. They can also spread gossip and create conflicts just to enjoy the chaos they've caused. It's important to recognize these signs early and distance yourself from those who exhibit this type of behavior to protect your own emotional health and well-being. Evil manifests in peculiar ways, none more telling than the pleasure derived from others' suffering. Imagine encountering someone who, instead of showing concern or offering assistance during a tough time, finds amusement in your struggles. This chilling indifference or even amusement at another's misfortune is a clear marker of a callous personality devoid of empathy. Examples abound of such callous indifference. Picture a scenario where a colleague, rather than lending a helping hand when deadlines loom, chuckles at your mounting stress. This behavior isn't merely insensitivity, it's a stark display of moral bankruptcy. Similarly, consider a friend who, upon learning of your personal crisis, responds not with comfort but with mocking jests. Such reactions reveal a darker side, a lack of regard for others' feelings, and a disturbing enjoyment of their distress. Individuals who derive pleasure from others' pain may go beyond mere indifference. They might actively provoke conflicts, spread malicious gossip, or engineer situations designed to cause harm. For them, the resulting chaos is not a consequence but a source of delight, a twisted game where they control the emotional landscape. Psychologically, this behavior reflects a severe deficit in empathy, a fundamental trait that binds societies together. Research underscores that empathy is crucial for social cohesion and personal well-being. When someone revels in others' suffering, they not only disregard social norms but also contribute to a toxic environment that erodes trust and mutual respect. Beyond the immediate victim, the ripple effects of such behavior can be profound. Imagine a workplace tainted by someone who actively sabotages colleagues' efforts for personal amusement. Productivity suffers, morale plunges, and trust evaporates. In personal relationships, friendships crumble under the weight of callous disregard, leaving emotional scars that may endure. Throughout history, literature, and cultural narratives, the archetype of the villain reveling in others' pain persists. From folklore to modern media, these characters serve as cautionary tales, illustrating the dangers of unchecked malevolence. They remind us that evil isn't always grandiose. It can be found in the everyday actions of those who derive satisfaction from others' suffering. Recognizing these signs early is crucial for personal well-being. Pay attention to how people react to adversity, not just in their words, but in their demeanor. Someone who consistently shows pleasure in others' pain reveals a deeper character flaw that should not be dismissed lightly. Distancing oneself from individuals who exhibit such tendencies isn't just a matter of preference, it's an act of self-preservation. Surrounding oneself with empathetic, supportive individuals fosters a positive emotional environment conducive to personal growth and well-being. In educational settings, cultivating empathy and discouraging behaviors that celebrate others' suffering are critical. By teaching compassion and respect, we fortify future generations against the allure of malevolent acts disguised as harmless jests or amusement. The choice between empathy and callous indifference defines our interactions and shapes our communities. By recognizing and rejecting behaviors that revel in others' pain, we uphold values that nurture compassion, kindness, and genuine human connection. It's a choice to cultivate a better world, one where empathy triumphs over malevolence, and where every individual's dignity and well-being are respected. Number 2, need to control your life. Evil people are extremely controlling. They feel uncomfortable and powerless if they don't control every aspect of their lives and the lives of those around them. They will do everything possible to ensure things happen according to their wishes and will abuse power if they don't encounter resistance. Think of that boss who insists on reviewing every little detail of your work not to help but to exert total control, or that friend who always decides where you go, what you do, and with whom, without considering others' opinions. These attitudes show an obsession with control that can be suffocating. Such people can also manipulate situations to maintain control, creating rigid rules or using emotional blackmail. A classic example is a partner who constantly monitors where you are and who you're talking to, not out of concern but out of a need to dominate your life. This need for control is not only irritating but can be dangerous, as these people often use their power to exploit and abuse others. Recognizing these behaviors and setting clear boundaries is essential to protect your independence and emotional well-being. If you notice someone trying to control every aspect of your life, it's important to take steps to distance yourself and regain your autonomy. The need to control isn't a mere quirk. It's a deep-seated insecurity that manifests in manipulative and often harmful ways. Imagine a climber scaling a mountain, constantly grabbing for every rock face for fear of falling. That's the essence of the extreme controller. They crave power, not progress. Studies by the American Psychological Association show a strong correlation between a controlling personality and a lack of self-confidence. They feel powerless without dominance, hindering genuine growth. A healthy leader inspires, a controller dictates. This relentless need to control can suffocate those around them. Remember that coworker who nitpicks every email and needs to approve every comma? Classic control freak. They believe their way is the only way, stifling creativity and initiative. A study published in the Harvard Business Review found that micromanagement actually decreases productivity and employee morale. Imagine the frustration and wasted potential in a workplace where every move is dictated. Control isn't always overt. Expert manipulators use emotional blackmail and guilt trips to get their way. A partner might feign illness to stop you from going out with friends, or a parent might withhold affection as punishment. This emotional abuse erodes trust and creates a toxic environment. It's a subtle but insidious way to control another person's actions and emotions. Healthy friendships are a two-way street, a give and take. The controller, however, sees friendships as an extension of their domain. They dictate activities, choose your company, and disregard your preferences. Imagine a friend who constantly picks the restaurants, movies, and even your vacation destinations. These lopsided dynamics leave you feeling drained and unappreciated, like a supporting character in someone else's story. Control often masquerades as concern, blurring the lines and making it harder to recognize unhealthy tactics. A parent might justify excessive monitoring as a keeping you safe, or a partner might frame jealousy as a proof of love. Imagine a partner who tracks your every move on their phone, claiming it's out of love and concern. This emotional manipulation makes it difficult to establish healthy boundaries or call out the controlling behavior. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. The controller, however, disregards them. They might constantly call, text, or show up uninvited, all in the name of staying connected. This constant intrusion erodes trust and creates a prison of insecurity. Imagine never having a moment of privacy, a space to call your own. It's a relentless pressure that can be emotionally exhausting. Unchecked controlling behavior can escalate into a dangerous cycle. What starts as minor micromanagement can morph into verbal abuse or even physical violence. A study by the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence shows a strong link between controlling behavior and domestic abuse. It's crucial to recognize the signs early and take steps to protect yourself. The need to control isn't just emotionally damaging to those around them, it's detrimental to the controller themselves. They live with constant anxiety, paranoia, and a fear of losing power. Imagine the constant stress of needing to control every situation and every person around you. They miss out on the joy of genuine connection and spontaneous experiences, living a life dictated by fear rather than freedom. Recognizing controlling behavior is the first step to breaking free. Set clear boundaries, communicate your needs assertively, and don't be afraid to walk away from toxic relationships. It might be difficult, but it's essential for your well-being. True leadership isn't about control, it's about inspiring and empowering others. Focus on building healthy, supportive relationships where trust and respect reign supreme. Imagine a workplace where collaboration thrives, or a friendship where you feel seen and valued. A healthy life is one where you feel empowered to make your own choices, not controlled by the desires of others. It's about living a life of freedom, not fear. Number 3, strange feeling when you're around them. Feeling a strange sensation around certain individuals can be a profound indicator of their character, often revealing subtle aspects of their energy and intentions. This sensation might manifest as unease, discomfort, or a vague sense of distrust, prompting us to question our interactions and reactions. Human beings are wired with innate instincts that evolved over millennia to detect potential threats. When we encounter someone who triggers feelings of discomfort, it could be our subconscious mind picking up on subtle cues that our conscious awareness hasn't fully processed. These cues might include nonverbal communication, such as body language and facial expressions, which can reveal underlying emotions or intentions that are not explicitly communicated. Cultural and contextual factors also play a role in how we interpret these feelings. Different societies have distinct social norms and etiquettes that dictate acceptable behavior and interactions. Deviations from these norms can create a sense of discomfort or unease as we navigate unfamiliar or potentially conflicting social dynamics. Psychological studies support the idea that our bodies react to stimuli faster than our conscious minds can process. This means that feeling strange around someone could be a preemptive response to perceived threats or inconsistencies in their behavior. This phenomenon is not limited to personal interactions but can also affect group dynamics in various settings, such as workplaces or social gatherings. Ignoring these feelings of discomfort can have detrimental effects on our emotional well-being. Continually exposing ourselves to individuals who evoke negative reactions can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and a diminished sense of security in our environments. Over time, this can erode our trust in others and impact our ability to form healthy relationships. Intuition, often referred to as a gut feeling or sixth sense, plays a significant role in these perceptions. While intuition can sometimes be influenced by biases or past experiences, it often serves as a valuable guide in assessing potential threats or dangers in our surroundings. Learning to trust and respect these intuitive reactions can empower us to make informed decisions and protect ourselves from harm. Real-life examples and case studies illustrate the importance of listening to these intuitive warnings. Stories of individuals who ignored their instincts and faced negative consequences underscore the validity of these feelings as essential warning signs. By reflecting on these experiences, we can glean insights into how our instincts can serve as valuable tools for self-protection and decision-making. Setting boundaries is another crucial aspect of managing feelings of discomfort. Establishing clear boundaries allows us to protect our emotional and mental well-being by limiting our exposure to individuals who consistently evoke negative feelings. This assertiveness in boundary setting fosters healthier relationships and promotes a more positive environment in both personal and professional settings. In conclusion, recognizing and honoring feelings of discomfort around certain individuals is not merely about being overly suspicious or judgmental. It is about respecting our innate instincts and leveraging them as tools for self-protection and emotional well-being. By understanding the underlying reasons behind these feelings and taking proactive steps to address them, we can cultivate healthier relationships and environments that support our personal growth and happiness. Number 4. Lack of responsibility. In Aesop's fable of the boy who cried wolf, a young shepherd repeatedly tricks nearby villagers by falsely claiming a wolf is attacking his flock. Each time, the villagers rush to his aid, only to discover there was no wolf. When a real wolf finally appears and the boy cries for help, the villagers dismiss him, thinking it's another false alarm. The boy's lack of responsibility for his actions ultimately leads to dire consequences, a metaphorical lesson on the dangers of dishonesty and shirking accountability. This narrative parallels the behavior of individuals who refuse to take responsibility for their actions. Such people often exhibit a pattern of deflecting blame onto others or external circumstances whenever they make mistakes or face consequences. This avoidance of accountability not only damages relationships but also undermines trust and fosters a toxic environment. Consider the scenario of a colleague in a professional setting who consistently avoids owning up to their errors. Instead of admitting fault when a project deadline is missed, they shift blame onto teammates or external factors like technology glitches or unclear instructions. This behavior not only disrupts workflow but also creates resentment among team members who feel unfairly scapegoated. In personal relationships, the lack of responsibility can manifest in different ways. For instance, a friend who repeatedly finds themselves in financial trouble may habitually blame the economy, bad luck, or even their upbringing for their financial woes. They fail to acknowledge their own spending habits or lack of financial planning as contributing factors, thus perpetuating a cycle of dependency and victimhood. Psychologically, individuals who avoid responsibility often exhibit traits of narcissism or manipulative behavior. They may use guilt-tripping tactics to coerce others into apologizing for their mistakes or taking on undeserved blame. This manipulation can be subtle yet potent, gradually eroding the self-esteem and confidence of those around them. Statistics underscore the pervasive impact of blame-shifting and victim-playing behaviors in interpersonal dynamics. Studies show that unresolved conflicts due to lack of accountability can lead to increased stress levels, lower job satisfaction, and diminished overall well-being in both professional and personal contexts. For organizations, the cost of workplace conflict stemming from irresponsibility can result in decreased productivity and heightened turnover rates. Proverbs from various cultures caution against associating with individuals who refuse to accept responsibility for their actions. An African proverb advises that when there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt you, emphasizing the importance of self-awareness and accountability. Similarly, in Japanese culture, the proverb "a frog in a well does not know the great sea" serves as a reminder of the limited perspective and potential consequences of avoiding responsibility. Addressing these behaviors requires assertiveness and boundary-setting skills. It involves recognizing manipulation tactics and refusing to be drawn into a cycle of guilt or undue blame. Effective communication techniques, such as using I statements to express feelings and expectations clearly, can help establish healthy boundaries and promote accountability in relationships. Therapeutic approaches, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can also be beneficial in helping individuals and teams recognize and change patterns of irresponsibility. By exploring underlying beliefs and behaviors, therapy can facilitate personal growth and foster a more constructive approach to conflict resolution and self-management. In conclusion, the inability or refusal to take responsibility for one's actions is a detrimental behavior that affects both individuals and their environments. Whether in the workplace, friendships, or personal relationships, the consequences of blame shifting and victim playing can be profound, leading to distrust, resentment, and emotional turmoil. By cultivating self-awareness, fostering open communication, and maintaining healthy boundaries, individuals can mitigate the impact of irresponsible behavior and nurture environments conducive to mutual respect and growth. Number 5. Habit of lying. Evil people have the terrible habit of lying constantly. They lie for their benefit and often lie just for fun or to manipulate others. They don't value your trust or friendship, prioritizing only their own interests. Liars frequently use their lies to manipulate situations and people. For example, a partner who lies about their feelings or intentions to keep you under control or gain an advantage in an argument. They can also invent gossip or spread misinformation to cause conflicts among friends or colleagues, all for fun or to benefit in some way. These lies may be small and seemingly harmless at first, but over time they erode trust and harm relationships. If someone lies repeatedly, even about trivial things, it's a clear sign that the person doesn't respect you and is willing to sacrifice your trust to gain something. Recognizing and confronting these lies is essential to maintaining healthy relationships. If you realize someone has a constant habit of lying, it's important to assess the impact of that person on your life and consider if it's possible to maintain a trustworthy relationship with them. Honesty is the foundation of any solid relationship, and people who lie constantly cannot offer that foundation. The habit of lying, a pervasive trait among certain individuals, permeates various facets of life and can profoundly impact both personal and professional spheres. Individuals who engage in habitual lying often resort to deception for personal gain or to manipulate others, displaying a disregard for the trust and integrity crucial in healthy relationships. Imagine a scenario in the workplace where a colleague consistently fabricates accomplishments or inflates their contributions to projects. Such behavior not only distorts reality, but also undermines team dynamics and erodes trust among co-workers. Studies have shown that workplace dishonesty can lead to decreased morale and productivity, as well as increased conflict and resentment within teams. Similarly, in personal relationships, habitual liars may use deception to maintain control or avoid confrontation. For instance, a friend who repeatedly lies about their actions or whereabouts can strain the trust necessary for genuine friendship. These falsehoods can escalate, causing rifts and damaging the emotional bonds that sustain meaningful connections. Research underscores the critical role of trust in fostering healthy relationships, highlighting how habitual lying can jeopardize their stability and longevity. Motivations behind habitual lying can vary widely. Some individuals may lie to enhance their social standing or to gain approval from others. For example, someone who habitually exaggerates their experiences or possessions may do so to appear more successful or impressive. This behavior not only deceives those around them but also reflects underlying insecurities or a desire for external validation. Liars people may manipulate others for personal gain, using deceit to exploit situations to their advantage. In romantic relationships, for instance, a partner who consistently misrepresents their feelings or intentions may do so to maintain control or to avoid addressing deeper issues. This manipulation can inflict emotional harm, breeding distrust and insecurity in the deceived party. Beyond individual relationships, habitual lying can have broader social implications. In social circles or communities, individuals who spread misinformation or gossip can sow discord and fracture trust among peers. Such behavior not only undermines unity but also fosters an environment of suspicion and division, affecting the cohesion and well-being of the community as a whole. If someone has an habitual of lying, can perpetuate a cycle of dishonesty, desensitizing individuals to the moral implications of their actions. Research suggests that repeated deceit can erode one's sense of integrity and ethical boundaries, ultimately compromising their self-image and reputation. Addressing habitual lying requires a comprehensive approach that includes both personal reflection and collective action. It involves recognizing and confronting dishonest behavior while promoting a culture of transparency and accountability. In workplaces, implementing clear ethical guidelines and fostering open communication can mitigate dishonest practices and encourage a climate of honesty and trust. On an interpersonal level, setting boundaries and addressing deceptive behavior with empathy and clarity are essential steps in maintaining healthy relationships. Confronting habitual lying requires sensitivity to underlying motivations and a commitment to fostering mutual respect and honesty. This bad habit is not simply a lapse in honesty, but a pervasive pattern of behavior with profound consequences. Whether in professional settings, personal relationships, or broader social contexts, habitual lying undermines trust, fosters manipulation, and erodes the foundations of meaningful interactions. By recognizing the signs of habitual lying and taking proactive steps to address it, individuals and communities can cultivate environments where honesty, integrity, and trust can thrive. Number 6. Absence of remorse. Evil people don't feel remorse for their actions. They never feel guilty about the negative impact they have on others. When confronted, they manipulate the situation to make you doubt your perception of reality. Evil doesn't announce itself with a dramatic flourish. It can lurk behind the mask of a charming smile or a friendly demeanor. A key indicator of a malicious individual is the icy grip of the absence of remorse. These people lack the internal compass that guides most of us towards regret for causing harm. They leave a trail of shattered dreams and broken trust in their wake, utterly unconcerned by the devastation they've caused. Imagine a neighbor, let's call him Harold, who constantly throws loud parties late into the night, disrupting your sleep and sanity. When you politely ask him to consider the noise levels, Harold shrugs it off, claiming it's just a little fun. He shows no empathy for your disrupted sleep schedule or the importance of peace and quiet in your own home. This casual disregard for your well-being is a glaring sign of his lack of remorse. He prioritizes his own fleeting pleasure over your right to peace in your own space. Think of the Aesop fable, of the scorpion and the frog. The scorpion, inherently treacherous, stings the frog midstream, condemning them both to a watery grave. When the frog questions the scorpion's logic, the scorpion simply replies, "It's in my nature." This chilling exchange reflects the behavior of those who lack remorse. They act on their self-serving impulses, causing harm without a second thought, and are incapable of understanding the impact of their actions on others. These individuals possess a remarkable talent for emotional alchemy. They can turn any situation into an opportunity to deflect blame and absolve themselves of responsibility. Confront them about a hurtful remark or a broken promise, and suddenly you're the villain in their narrative. They'll twist the facts and paint a picture where they're the misunderstood victim. This emotional manipulation is a clear sign of their lack of remorse. They're far more concerned with protecting their fragile egos than taking accountability for their words and actions. The consequences of prolonged exposure to those who lack remorse can be dire. Studies from the American Psychological Association, APA, have shown that constant interaction with toxic individuals can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and even physical health problems. Recognizing the absence of remorse is a crucial skill for safeguarding your mental and physical well-being. People who don't feel an ounce of guilt for hurting others are likely to repeat their toxic patterns. They operate under the assumption that their actions have no repercussions. Identifying this red flag and establishing strong boundaries is the first line of defense in protecting yourself from those who drain your energy and happiness. Think about the metaphor of a leech, a parasitic creature that feeds off its host. People who lack remorse can be emotional leeches. They attach themselves to others, draining their emotional energy and leaving them feeling depleted and discouraged. Distancing yourself from someone who consistently exhibits a lack of remorse isn't a sign of weakness, it's an act of self-preservation. Remember, you deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you, not those who leave you feeling emotionally bruised and unseen. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of the absence of remorse is its potential to erode empathy, a cornerstone of human connection. Imagine a classmate, let's call her Brenda, who constantly delights in belittling others and revels in the discomfort she causes. When confronted about her hurtful behavior, Brenda dismisses your concerns as the overreacting and takes pride in her ability to manipulate emotions. This lack of remorse not only hurts the immediate target, but also chips away at the overall sense of empathy within the group. Witnessing such behavior without consequence can normalize cruelty and make others less likely to intervene when they see someone being mistreated. Finally, the absence of remorse can be a breeding ground for future transgressions. Consider a historical figure like a ruthless warlord who conquers and pillages without a shred of remorse. Their lack of regret for the suffering they inflict fuels further acts of violence and creates a climate of fear and oppression. In these cases, the absence of remorse becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, perpetuating a cycle of destruction and hindering the possibility of peace and reconciliation. By understanding the chilling absence of remorse, we can empower ourselves to create healthier, more compassionate relationships. We can choose to surround ourselves with those who value honesty, accountability, and genuine regret when they cause harm. This not only protects our own well-being, but also contributes to building a more empathetic and just society. Number 7. The chilling shadow of cruelty: recognizing and protecting yourself. Number 7 on the list of evils we face: cruelty. It's a darkness that some individuals wield with chilling ease, inflicting pain openly and reveling in the suffering of others. Unlike manipulative or deceptive evil, cruelty operates in the harsh light of day, its ugliness readily apparent. But beneath the surface lies a disturbing lack of empathy, a willingness to intentionally inflict pain that sets these individuals apart. Imagine a schoolyard bully, their taunts echoing through the halls. They target a classmate's vulnerabilities, exploiting insecurities with a relentless barrage of insults. Their laughter thrives on the victim's tears, a stark demonstration of the pleasure they derive from another's misery. This isn't mere teasing, it's a deliberate attempt to inflict emotional pain, a cruelty that can leave lasting scars. The proverb, "A kind word can warm 3 winter months, but a cruel word can freeze a heart," captures the devastating impact of cruelty. Its studies show that repeated exposure to cruelty can lead to depression, anxiety, and even physical health problems. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who experience chronic social rejection, a form of cruelty, exhibit higher levels of inflammation, a marker of stress and potential health issues. The workplace, unfortunately, isn't immune to cruelty. A seemingly harmless colleague might pepper conversations with backhanded compliments or veiled insults, slowly eroding your confidence. They might take credit for your ideas during meetings, leaving you feeling demoralized and invisible. This constant drip, drip, drip of cruelty can poison a work environment, stifling creativity and collaboration. Friendships, too, can harbor hidden cruelty. A confidant who twists your words into gossip or betrays your trust with malicious intent is no friend at all. Their enjoyment of your discomfort exposes a fundamental lack of empathy, a core characteristic of a cruel personality. Cruelty can take physical forms as well. An intimate partner who resorts to verbal abuse or physical violence is exhibiting open cruelty. Their actions are designed to dominate and control, leaving the victim feeling powerless and unsafe. Statistics from the National Domestic Violence Hotline reveal a grim reality. In the United States alone, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner. The ability to recognize cruelty is the first step towards protecting yourself. Pay attention to the way someone makes you feel. Does their presence leave you feeling drained, belittled, or unsafe? Trust your gut instinct. If someone consistently disregards your feelings or enjoys your discomfort, it's a red flag. Setting boundaries is crucial in dealing with cruelty. Let the person know what behavior is unacceptable, and be prepared to walk away if they don't respect those boundaries. In more severe cases, particularly those involving physical violence, seeking help from a trusted friend, family member, or professional is essential. Remember, you don't deserve to be treated cruelly. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be surrounded by people who care about your well-being. By recognizing and confronting cruelty, you can create a space for kindness and compassion to thrive in your life. Number 8. Friends and family warnings about the bad person's character. If your friends and family are warning you about someone's character, it's important to take these warnings seriously. They may have witnessed toxic and harmful behaviors in the past. Don't ignore these signs, as what happened to them could happen to you if you're not careful. Imagine you start dating someone new, and soon your closest friends and family express concern. They mention that this person has a history of manipulation and disrespect in previous relationships. It can be difficult to accept these criticisms, especially if you're emotionally involved, but it's crucial to listen to these concerns carefully. They say a blood is thicker than water, and when it comes to warnings about someone's character, this proverb holds immense weight. Friends and family, the people who know you best and have your track record on repeat, become the first line of defense against negative influences. Ignoring their concerns, especially when multiple voices chime in, could be a costly mistake. Imagine this: you've met someone captivating, someone who makes your heart skip a beat. Everything seems perfect, a whirlwind romance blooming. Then, like a gentle breeze carrying a distinct scent, whispers of caution begin to reach you. A close friend mentions a trail of broken promises in this person's wake. A concerned parent shares stories of witnessed manipulation and disrespect in their previous encounters. These whispers, though unsettling, deserve your undivided attention. Think of it like this: sometimes when we're deeply involved, we get caught up in the emotional tides, missing the bigger picture. We might dismiss these warnings as a jealousy or a overprotectiveness. But consider the statistics. A study by a credible research organization found that people in abusive relationships often overlook red flags in the initial stages. Friends and family, however, have the benefit of hindsight. They've observed this person's behavior across different situations and relationships, like a seasoned captain navigating a treacherous sea. Their warnings are not mere gossip, they're cautionary tales based on lived experiences. These warnings are valuable because they offer an external perspective, free from the rose-colored glasses of new infatuation or the pressure to fit in at a new job. Think about it this way: your true friends wouldn't risk damaging your happiness with unfounded negativity. They genuinely care about your well-being and have nothing to gain from lying, unlike a charismatic stranger who might be putting on a show. The strength of these warnings lies in their consistency. If multiple people, from different walks of your life, express similar concerns about someone, it's a glaring red flag that shouldn't be ignored. It's tempting to downplay these warnings, especially when the person in question is showering you with attention. But remember, this initial charm could be a facade, a well-rehearsed act designed to gain your trust before the manipulative behavior resurfaces. Here's the key takeaway: acknowledge and consider these concerns. Don't dismiss them as mere negativity. Instead, use them as an impetus to observe the person's behavior more closely. Do their actions align with their charming words? Are there subtle signs of controlling tendencies or a lack of accountability? Trust your gut instinct, that inner voice that might be echoing the very warnings you received. Remember, your friends and family might see the storm clouds gathering on the horizon, while you're still basking in the initial sunshine. Don't wait for the downpour to start. Take shelter in their wisdom and protect yourself from potential emotional hurt. Friends and family can offer a much-needed reality check. They know your vulnerabilities and strengths, and can often spot patterns you might miss when caught up in the moment. Think of it like this: when building a house, you wouldn't rely solely on your own design. A skilled architect, with their knowledge of structural integrity and potential hazards, can offer invaluable insights to ensure a safe and secure dwelling. Similarly, your loved ones can act as your emotional architects, helping you build healthy and fulfilling relationships. Let's face it, these warnings can be uncomfortable. They can force us to confront a reality that might not align with our initial hopes and desires. It's easier to believe the charming facade than to accept the possibility of negativity. But as the saying goes, a comfort is the enemy of progress. True growth often comes from stepping outside our comfort zone and acknowledging uncomfortable truths. The more voices singing the same tune, the harder it becomes to dismiss them as off-key. If multiple people, from your best friend to a casual colleague, express similar concerns about someone's character, it's a strong signal that deserves serious consideration. It's like having multiple smoke detectors going off in your house. You wouldn't ignore them all, would you? It's important to remember that not all warnings are created equal. Sometimes, concerns might stem from misinterpretations or personal biases. The key is to approach these situations with an open mind and a discerning eye. Listen actively to the reasons behind the warnings, weigh the information against your own observations, and trust your judgment. Number 9. Contempt, the poisonous dart of manipulation. Contempt, a viper amongst emotions, slithers into relationships disguised as blunt honesty or harmless teasing. It's a masterfully wielded tool by emotional manipulators, designed to erode your self-worth and leave you dependent on their approval. Imagine a rose, vibrant and full of potential. Now picture someone constantly criticizing its thorns, the slight imperfections in its petals, or the wrongest shade of red. This relentless negativity is the essence of contempt. It doesn't aim to help you bloom, it aims to wilt you. Statistics paint a grim picture. A study by the Gottman Institute found that contempt is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in relationships, a predictor of significant distress and potential dissolution. Contemptuous behavior can be as subtle as a sarcastic eye roll or as blatant as name-calling. Beyond physical appearance, while physical criticism is a common weapon, contempt doesn't stop there. A manipulative friend might mock your career choice, scoffing, "Are you really going to be doing that for a living?" This insidious belittling not only undermines your present efforts, but also chips away at your future aspirations. The erosion of dreams. Proverbs warn us, "A dream dies alone." Contemptuous manipulators thrive on isolating your dreams. Imagine a supportive friend celebrating your decision to write a novel. A contemptuous one might scoff, "There are already too many books out there," or dismiss your writing as a silly hobby. This negativity can extinguish the spark of your passions, leaving you questioning your own capabilities. The dependence trap. By eroding your self-esteem, the manipulator sets a cunning trap. As your confidence crumbles, you begin to crave their validation. Their occasional compliment, however backhanded, becomes a lifeline. This dependence makes you vulnerable to their control, as they become the arbiters of your self-worth. Remember your value. Don't be fooled by the manipulator's act. You are a unique and valuable human being, worthy of respect and encouragement. Just as a diamond in the rough needs a skilled hand to reveal its brilliance, you deserve relationships that nurture your true potential. Seek support. If you find yourself surrounded by contempt, don't hesitate to seek support. Talk to a trusted friend, therapist, or counselor. Building a strong support system filled with positive and encouraging people will act as a shield against negativity and empower you to walk away from toxic relationships. Prioritize your well-being. Your well-being is paramount. Just as you wouldn't tolerate someone constantly criticizing your physical health, don't tolerate emotional abuse either. Setting boundaries and distancing yourself from those who belittle you is an act of self-care. Embrace your growth. Remember, personal growth flourishes in an environment of encouragement and respect. Seek out relationships that celebrate your individuality, support your dreams, and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Life is a journey. Life's journey is filled with challenges and triumphs. The right kind of people will walk beside you, offering a hand up when you stumble and cheering you on as you reach new heights. Don't settle for those who try to dim your light. Surround yourself with the sunshine of genuine support and watch yourself blossom. Number 10. Animal abuse. Animal abuse is a clear sign of a bad person. Cruelty towards animals can indicate deeper problems in someone's character. If you know someone who acts abusively or neglectfully towards animals, consider distancing yourself from that person. Animals, with their trusting eyes and unconditional love, offer a glimpse into the depths of a human soul. Their vulnerability makes them a canvas upon which our character is writ large. Animal abuse isn't just a transgression, it's a chilling scream echoing from within, a disturbing testament to a person's capacity for cruelty. Imagine a majestic bald eagle, its powerful wings clipped and confined to a cramped cage, its spirit slowly withering away. This deliberate act of stealing freedom and inflicting suffering on a creature that embodies the very essence of wildness exposes a darkness within the abuser. It speaks of a lack of empathy, a void where compassion should reside. Studies by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, have shown a significant correlation between animal cruelty and violence towards humans, suggesting a dangerous potential for escalation. Abuse isn't confined to overt violence. Neglect is a silent tormentor, a slow and agonizing betrayal of trust. Think of a once vibrant horse, now reduced to a skeletal frame, abandoned in a field overgrown with weeds, with an empty water trough mocking its thirst. This chronic neglect speaks of a deep-seated indifference to the suffering of another living being. It betrays a fundamental disregard for the responsibility that comes with caring for an animal. Animals act as a mirror reflecting our own humanity. Their abuse reveals a distorted self-image, warped by anger, control issues, or a sense of entitlement. Imagine a child viciously pulling the legs off a spider, reveling in its struggles. This act of cruelty speaks of a deep-seated insecurity or a need for dominance, a twisted attempt to feel powerful by inflicting pain on a weaker creature. Turning a blind eye to animal abuse emboldens the abuser and normalizes the cruelty. Imagine a bustling city street where a dog cowers in fear, its ribs poking through matted fur, as its owner repeatedly kicks it for lagging behind. Bystanders rush past, their hurried commutes taking precedence over the silent screams of the animal. This collective silence not only allows the abuse to continue, but also sends a message of tolerance. Fortunately, there are those who refuse to stay silent. Animal shelters across the globe become sanctuaries for the abused, offering a chance at healing and a loving forever home. Imagine a dedicated volunteer patiently coaxing a rescued dog out of its shell, its eyes filled with a heartbreaking mix of fear and longing. This act of kindness is a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of compassion to mend even the most broken souls. The fight against animal abuse requires a collective effort. Educating children about the incredible bond humans can share with animals, fostering empathy for all living things, and teaching responsible pet ownership are crucial steps towards building a more compassionate society. Imagine a classroom buzzing with excitement as children learn about the vital role bees play in our ecosystem. This early exposure to the interconnectedness of life plants the seeds of respect for all creatures, great and small. Strong animal cruelty laws, coupled with effective enforcement, send a clear message: abuse will not be tolerated. Imagine a courtroom where a judge, with a stern expression, hands down a stiff sentence to a convicted animal abuser. This not only brings justice to the victim, but also serves as a deterrent, protecting future animals from suffering. By supporting organizations that advocate for animal rights, promoting ethical treatment in farms and research facilities, and speaking up against cruelty whenever we witness it, we create a ripple effect of positive change. Imagine a community coming together to organize a peaceful protest against a company known for its inhumane treatment of animals used in product testing. This collective action demonstrates the strength of compassion and the power of individuals to create meaningful social change. Animals enrich our lives with their unconditional love and loyalty. The least we can do is offer them the same respect and compassion in return. Let's strive to create a world where animal abuse becomes a relic of the past, and the bond between humans and animals is built on trust, respect, and love. In this world, the majestic eagle soars freely across the sky, the once neglected horse grazes peacefully in a lush meadow, and the rescued dog wags its tail with newfound joy, its eyes reflecting the love it receives in its forever home. It's important to recognize these signs and consider the impact of being around someone with these traits. While it may be difficult to realize when we're blinded by friendship, love, or respect for someone, it's essential to prioritize the safety and well-being of the animals and ourselves. If you suspect someone is being cruel to animals, consider distancing yourself and, if possible, report the behavior to the appropriate authorities to protect the animals and prevent future harm. If you know other signs of a bad person that haven't been mentioned here, put them in the comments. We had loved to read your opinion. If you've made it to the end, write in the comments, "Good always triumphs over evil." If you found these insights valuable, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more wisdom. Thank you and see you in the next video.